You choosing this life, something is gonna happen to you.
This is it. Tuesday. It's the fatal series finale, and Tyler Perry isn't holding back.
Where's the damn ambulance? Put the gun down.
I'm gonna beat your ass. You better bring all you got.
Who will make it out alive?
Lord, help us all.
The Haves and the Have-Nots, the series finale, Tuesday, 8/7 Central.
All right, haves and have-not fans, this is the video you wanted, even though you got about 25 or 30 other videos in between last Tuesday and this Tuesday, but here we are. I felt it was appropriate to save this video for last, to drop it on the day of the finale, because of the fact that, you know, it's kind of like, okay, everybody put in your last minute bets. This is it. Because trust and believe that I've had several changes in my theories between now and last week myself. But I'm recording this prior to any sort of additional clips, even though I don't think they'll show us any promotional clips of the finale before the finale actually airs. So we might get lucky. So this is a big deal. I mean, to be honest, you know, this is the final episode of the series. And it's, what is it? Season 9, Episode 8, or Season 8, Episode 16. Overall, Episode 196 of the series. Darn shame. I mean, I really thought these series would have made it to 200 episodes. Airing tomorrow night, July 20th at 8 p.m. on OWN. Now, there are two different synopses. One says, a troubling revelation puts everyone's lives in danger. But then the main one I've been seeing the most is, a determined Veronica is willing to do whatever she has to get what she wants. But I feel like that synopsis was already used. I just can't remember when. I mean, yeah, The Reaping, that was October 27th, 2020. Veronica does whatever it takes to get what she wants. But then again, the episode right before that, Father's Day, Veronica makes moves to stay ahead of her enemies. So there's that. Now, we got the preview. I did the trailer breakdown last week. And, you know, I think the title of this video is going to be Tyler Perry's The Haves and the Have-Nots series finale predictions. Who will make it out alive? Now, I remember the tweet I posted on Twitter, and I even screenshot and put it on Instagram, and that pissed off people, because what kind of grim stuff is this, Jeremy? You want everybody to die, don't you? It's not really about what I want. I'm talking more so about everything that's kind of been laid out for us based on the past couple episodes, certain lines of dialogue, you know, the preview for this upcoming finale and things like that. So, you know, on screen, I'll have the tweet there for you to read. And I think we can all agree that if there was one particular character who would make it out of this series alive, without a doubt, it would be Hannah. It just seems way too obvious and well appropriate, for a lack of a better phrase, that Hannah Young is the one who makes it out alive. You know, I think I made two tweets actually. One I posted, I want to say on Friday, and then another one I posted a little bit earlier than that, but I still think it pissed people off regardless, because I think the predictions were the same. Yeah, on July 7th. On July 7th, I said, I'm going to say it. I think Benny gets killed by Sandy. Jim pays Vinny to have the Malones kill Candace. Wyatt dies from overdose. Catherine gets killed in jail. The final showdown between Jim and Hannah. But I'm not sure about the Harringtons just yet. And then fast forward to, I think, the 17th or the 16th. And the tweet I have is, current predictions. Hannah survives. Benny is killed by Sandy. Candace, well, the Malones deliver her to Jim, and he kills her in front of Hannah. Jeffrey and David are probably killed by Tanner's bomb. Veronica gets shot down in front of her house. Wyatt dies of the overdose. Jim is killed by Hannah, and Diamond kills Catherine in jail. To be completely honest, those seem like solid theories all around. Of course, there are a couple of, well, hey, here are some last minute rescues that could occur. But before getting into that, just a couple things. If you could do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button to show you like the video, I'd really appreciate it. Take a moment to hit that subscribe button. That way you don't miss out whenever I post content on the channel. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. And I know this isn't the video for it, but you all know that one video I did about why Malik looks different in House of HAHN. That video is almost at 965,000 views. Wait, 965,000 views, meaning that it only needs a little over 30,000 views in order to reach 1 million. And I've never had a video get to 1 million views. So if you see that video, which should be in the popular uploads, you know, it's the first one, click on that because I really want to make that video get to 1 million views. So before getting too distracted, I just wanted to say that there's only so much we can expect from a finale that's the normal runtime of an episode. I'm talking a finale that's only like 40 minutes and some change. Now, just looking at my predictions alone, you know, if anybody wanted to come up with any kind of solutions or, hey, here's a counter to your theory, you know, the big one being, okay, Benny, let's say Benny doesn't die, but let's say he's able to talk Sandy down to avoid getting shot. Or they get into a fight over the gun and somebody gets shot, but it's not Benny, it's Sandy. There's that. But that wouldn't necessarily mean that Benny's life would be any less in danger, because at that point, wait a minute, Benny not only beat Sandy, he's killed him alone. So they're going to go after him even harder. That's one angle. So I think it's safe to assume that Benny just gets shot and he's killed. Candace, the easy fix is, well, Jeremy, remember, Landon made a point to say, we're always watching you, Candace. So, you know, Landon and or Charles's team could just come in there and save her. That's another alternative right there. But remember, somebody's being dragged up the stairs behind Jim, and that's definitely Candace. So unless they burst into Catherine's house to save her, I don't think that's going to happen. And to be completely honest, I don't think Charles and Landon will even be in the finale. And no, believe it or not, I didn't even look on IMDb for cheat codes. I just didn't see a point, not to mention that site's so unreliable. So there's that. Now, I did the video the other day about the behind the scenes video I got, where there's an explosion coming from the inside of David's house. So Jeffrey or somebody opens up that box Tanner gave him and it goes off. You could argue that David is with Jim because obviously he saw Wyatt die in front of him, so he's upset about that. But based on that one promo photo we have where we see Jim alone drinking at Catherine's house, I think, you know, David isn't with Jim at that point in time. Maybe he wants to be alone or something along those lines. So I feel like David could be gone, but I think without any sort of doubt, Jeffrey is dead. Maybe Leo too, if he's still inside of the house. So I think without a doubt that Jeffrey, possibly even Madison, are killed when he opens the bomb. So the only caveat is David not being there. But if he is, maybe if he's upstairs, he'd be somewhat okay. But I don't think Veronica's going to go after him again that specific night. But I do think that overall, Jeffrey and David could both be killed in the bomb, or at the very least, just Jeffrey and or possibly Madison. Veronica gets shot down. Well, Jeremy, you remember Laura, her whole thing? Yeah, but there's only one way this could not happen. If Veronica isn't so cocky that she takes Marco's warnings to heart, because Marco's counting his money and saying that, hey, you have many enemies, you know that, right? Well, I'm Veronica. I wouldn't be if I didn't have enemies. So maybe she doesn't put two and two together. Now, remember, the last time we saw Samuel and Laura on screen together, it was like, hey, I'll go up in bed and wait for her. And then, you know, I can seduce her when she gets home. So we don't know if Samuel's still there. He could be, because Laura could be sent home and just get shot down. Or maybe, again, you know, Veronica being Veronica isn't so stupid that she listens to what Marco's saying as opposed to just brushing him off and tells him to get the hell out of her house. Maybe she decides to go out and cause more trouble and get shot down. So either it's Veronica or Laura. That's easily the only way to settle that if Veronica makes it out of here alive, which I don't think she will, because even Eddie got shot down in the finale of If Loving You Is Wrong. Wyatt dying of the overdose, that's going to happen. And Jim, Hannah's obviously going to kill him. Or let's say if Charles swoops in to save Candace, that National Guard, if the feds do it, I don't know. And then, of course, Catherine could just get by not getting killed in jail or beating Diamond, but I feel like Diamond will kill Catherine Cryer as a result of learning that, wait a minute, you're not just some random mark I've been sent to, rough up. You're the mother of that bastard that killed little Lizzie, my cousin, my niece. I don't know what the relation is, but Diamond Castile is related to little Lizzie. And as a result, Catherine dies. Hannah is, forever the executor of the Cryer estate. She has her little grandbaby that she never knew she had by Benny because Candace is dead, so her pregnancy is irrelevant. And, she lives happily ever after, even though she's lost everything. Yeah, that kind of sucks. But to be honest, she's lost her children for a while now, ever since they took that money. She had lost Candace for so long, then they finally reconciled, but then she went back to her old ways. And strangely enough, Candace was starting to act as calm and somewhat nice and polite as season 1 Benny, while Benny all of a sudden became a asshole. So yeah, Hannah's lost her kids for a while, even though they're still alive. And that really is what it all boils down to. I think that the finale could go one of 3 ways, death, someone's dream, or some sort of time skip, where I feel like the finale itself is going to be littered with the corpses of the characters. And there's really going to be no full resolution because of the fact that, you can't really resolve storylines if characters are just killed off. Like nobody's going to jail, nobody's going to go on trial. If they're dead, they're dead. And, I just feel like regardless of how you feel about who's going to make out alive, that this finale is going to be full of death. I feel like there will be at least half a dozen people who die. Wyatt, Jeffrey, possibly David and Madison as a result of the bomb. Laura / Veronica, depending on who gets shot outside of the house. Possibly Catherine in jail. Jim is definitely going to die because Hannah's going to kill him. And Candace's fate is left up in the air. So right there, I almost named 10 deaths right off the rip. Mitch is an iffy one because we do see that the Malones grab Candace and then they pin Mitch down. But I think that's in regard to making sure he doesn't do anything stupid. But, if Vinny decides you're a loose cannon, I could see Mitch being killed right there. And we already know not everything's going to be resolved in the finale regardless, so there's that. You would think the likes of like Broderick would be dead, but no, he's just gone. And I know I'm not trying to skip over any characters, but I'm really only focusing mainly on like the main 9 cast members. Like Madison and Mitch, they're in the opening credits, but their fates are kind of up in the air as it is. And when you think about it, there could be a dream, where, my mom's been saying it since season 1. I did that video, that blog way back when. I remember that was Catherine Cryer actually tweeted me saying that was a good read. It was the episode where it was between episodes 11 and 13. I think it was episode 12, In Recovery. Episode 11 was Not My Daughter, when Catherine tells everyone that she's leaving for vacation, but it turns out to be false. That's when she and Hannah leave to go to the hospital for her breast cancer surgery. So I think it was episode 12. It was the one where she does like the video will about how Jim Cryer's not in the will whatsoever, and Hannah recorded it, but then she gave Hannah an updated copy of the will where she had like $5 million going to Hannah. But in any case, it was like episode 12 or 13 where Catherine is about to go under. Basically, she's on her way to go to surgery, and then of course she has to be, put to sleep in order for the surgery to go through. But then my mom, I'll never forget, my mom was like, look, it was like after she got out of surgery, found out that Amanda was in the hospital, and it was like, Catherine, you need to leave in a wheelchair as hospital policy. But somehow this woman managed to get her clothes on and walk out of the hospital. And it's like, my mom's like, there's no way, this has to be some sort of dream. So it could be Catherine's dream. Like, for example, what's that saying? If you die in your sleep, you die in your real life. So possibly, instead of it being Jim and Hannah as the final face-off, maybe when Catherine gets into that fight in jail and gets killed, that's when she wakes up. And then there's a time skip, because then we discover all the various characters who have died or whatever, they're actually alive, which means that this finale could be filled with 3 different things: death, a dream, and then like a time skip. I say time skip in regards to, you know, hey, let's jump ahead and get like an epilogue where we discover what these characters are truly up to. Or maybe Catherine comes out of that, you know, comatose state from the surgery and then realizes what things she needs to change about her life. And the have becomes, well, they all become haves in their own right because they become havers of knowledge. I know that's cheesy, but hey, it is what it is. That's really what I got out of it. But that's assuming that, unlike If Loving You Is Wrong, this finale just doesn't take place in the same night. We get a bunch of deaths, and the episode ends on a bloody note. I mean, I would think that this would end on a happy note, but seriously, even if Hannah gets all that money and everything, everybody is dead around her, it's like, what's the point? You know? It's just like one of those cryptic things where it's like, what kind of lesson does this teach? Especially if Hannah, Bible-toting Christian Hannah of all people, kills Jim Cryer, even if he had it coming. I just feel like it just does so much against her character. Like I said before, when she killed Malik, you know, because he broke into the home, was threatening her and whatnot, that was self-defense. That's completely understandable. But in this case, as an act of revenge, swearing to God that you would kill Jim Cryer, I'd hate that. And I said that even during the hiatus between the final season and where we are now. I remember doing that video. I said that would be awful. An awful ending to the character. But I mean, hell, look at Brad and Marcy. Brad decided to let his ex-wife take the fall for a murder that she didn't commit, so Marcy would go free. Yet you have to wonder, you know, the mental and emotional consequences of that. It's like Marcy knowing she murdered somebody and somebody innocent is taking her place. Not to mention, you plan on being together with Brad, and yet his 2 children, their mother's in jail for a crime they didn't commit. So now it's like Brad having to explain to the children why mommy's not going to be anywhere that they can see her anytime soon. And Marcy dealing with that guilt. And we know Randall with the mind games. I think even beyond the grave, he will be haunting Marcy. So I feel like with Hannah, it would just be an awful thing to do with her character in that final episode. And guys, again, these are just my predictions. I could be wrong. Like I talked about Charles and Landon, I don't really see what kind of place they... And look, I you know how I feel about that storyline to begin with. I'm not a fan, but overall, I just don't think that storyline fits in what this finale is showing us based on the preview. And yes, I know the preview hides some things. For example, you know, when Oscar's like, we're all here to destroy you. In the next episode, we didn't see Erica, Warlock, Q. It was a nice surprise. So I'm not saying that the next episode, the finale, couldn't have a few surprises as well, but it just feels too coincidental. That's really what I'm getting at here when I'm talking about what to expect in these this final episode here. I mean, as Hannah says in the preview, Lord help us all. You know, I'm still wondering. To me, I'm kind of, I've kind of put my money in, the betting ring in terms of who's going to live and die. But the one I'm most confused or concerned about is the new character. Was it Tiana, right? Tiana? Tanisha? Look, Benny's apparent baby mama. I'm wondering if her and or her baby was shot in the, drive-by. That would just be awful, because that would just make Hannah in a, I'm just like in the not a right state of mind here. Just like Jim when Wyatt dies right in front of him. So it's definitely going to be a standoff. So, I mean, I thought this video would be close to an hour. It probably would have been if I didn't do all the other videos before this one, but I just wanted to get straightforward and to the point. You know, I took a break in the recording of this video to rewatch the end credit trailer as well as the trailer for the finale, and it's pretty straightforward. I mean, I honestly would quite enjoy a few surprises, you know, twists and turns that even I didn't see coming while we watched that final episode. But to be honest, you know, the things I'm kind of scratching my head over is whether or not David's going to be in the house when Jeffrey opens the bomb, if the baby mama and baby are alive from the shooting, if there's a last second rescue by Charles to save Candace, and if there's a bait and switch between Laura and Veronica when somebody walks out of the house and gets gunned down. You know, everything else seems pretty straightforward, like Jim being killed by Hannah, Wyatt dying from the overdose, and, you know, of course, you know, Benny being shot by Sandy. So that's all I have. My predictions. I hope you enjoy. I will maybe do a last minute video if we get any sort of promo, clip, sneak peek, whatever you want to call it, prior to the episode airing. If you have any other clues or things you want to talk about, feel free to let me know. That way I could possibly have time to get something together prior to the episode airing. But with that being said, I'll catch you all after the finale. If you want to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App. And with that being said, I'll talk to you later.